The dating world for men can be a tough place. Perhaps you're one of these men who feel like they're doing everything right, but women still don't want to be with you. Perhaps you're doing everything you can to make her happy and to have her feel good, but at the end of the day, she chooses someone else. If you can resonate with this, and you often hear that you need to give her more space, more time, or even that she just wants to be friends, this video's for you. We'll look at 10 female weaknesses that you need to be highly aware of if you want to have some dating success, and many of these are often like cheat codes in the dating world. But first, we need to look deeper in why women often tell men they need space and time, or they simply want to be friends. Why women reject men so often. It might be shocking for many of you to learn that women only find about 10% of men they see attractive enough to chase. You see, women have access to social media, where hundreds of men are constantly bombarding them with pickup lines and trying to strike up a conversation. This basic supply and demand principle means that as long as there's enough supply for women, they don't need to worry about men. And this naturally also means that standards are increased. So one of the main reasons for women frequently rejecting men is solely based on their exceptionally high standards. But the bad side of men also plays a vital role. You see, the current trend of society has empowered women to such a level that many believe they're above men in social situations. This means that she doesn't feel the need to even get to know someone not on her level. Something happened to someone dear to us on this channel. In this story, the woman who is very successful had a close friend who liked her for a long time. However, she continued chasing success, and when she reached it, she made it clear that she'd only date a man who earns more money than her. So, women tend to reject men who do not meet their own social and financial levels, and this is something that's made men weak. Due to this nature, men are slowly becoming weaker. And they're also allowing their emotions and feelings to spill over into everyday life. Now, emotional behavior is an inherently female trait, which means that it can completely turn women off. The upside to all this is that there's one simple thing that no woman can resist. This is called human nature. And the more you resist human nature, the harder it starts pulling. You see, women are still women, and their minds are designed to act a certain way. Since there's been years of study on this topic, it's easy to see that when something should be a certain way, there are always weaknesses. The following 10 weaknesses are some of the most common you'll find in women. However, you should find a way to make them work for you, and this video is sure to give you that edge. Now, you can even seduce women who out-earn you, or try to demand more respect. Number 1, the broken man. One of the biggest weaknesses women have is wanting to save and help someone. You see, we're all told from a very young age that we should focus solely on becoming the pillar of the family, but women don't necessarily want that. You see, the problem is that women are attracted to how much you earn, but they're even more attracted to someone with a lot of potential. Women tend to choose these bad boys with the hopes that they might change them and transform them into someone who's steadfast and capable of providing for a family. You've probably seen all the fairy tales of the knight in shining armor always coming to the rescue, but by the time he saves the princess, he's damaged and hurt. The woman then wants to make it all better, and this is something women still want to do today. Now, this doesn't mean that you should become a broken person, but it does mean that you can play the game to make her feel like you're emotionally unavailable at first. Women want someone who's emotionally unavailable and then convert him into someone of her dreams. But this is not always easy, and it often ends up in a toxic situation. Number 2, the consistent man. There are a ton of studies done on the steadfast man, or the man who always provides and ensures that everyone's happy. You see, women start desiring more comfort and consistency as they grow older, and the reason for this is so they can easily have children and settle down. Whilst the broken man often turns her on and seems like a challenge for women to fix, the consistent man is someone who she can rely on. In fact, many long-term relationships happen when a woman meets a steadfast man who doesn't have a lot of emotional baggage to wade through. But you need to understand that tension is not as high when you become the steadfast man. And this means that the initial spark might not be as high as it's supposed to be. In fact, the consistent man needs to pitch up constantly to prove that he's worthy of her. and to many men, this might seem very weak. However, consistency and trustworthiness are two things slowly dying out in society. And whilst these relationships take a lot of time to establish, they're generally very strong. At first, she might string you along, but eventually, being the consistent man will allow her to realize that you cannot be replaced. If you're to go by extreme masculinity, you'll be told that these women do not deserve you. But when you take a step back and look at society in general, it's often not that easy. Life is full of the unexpected, and many happy marriages happen when a man is consistent and always stands by a woman until she realizes he's the one. The bad boy has a limited time of effectiveness before women grow up and seek a true man. Number 3, confidence is attractive. Whether you're a broken or steadfast man, one thing that remains consistent is that women desire a confident man. You see, confidence is one of the most important powers for a woman. Regardless of whether you're a good or bad person, confidence is the one thing that you need when communicating with people. When someone doesn't show confidence, they come across as being untrustworthy. And when a man is untrustworthy, it can be a real pain to deal with. Women also associate confidence with power. And when someone's confident, they naturally assume that he has something that allows him to be confident. Moreover, being confident also allows you to unlock a different side of a woman. When a man does show some confidence, she naturally lets her guard down. Yeah, she might challenge you at first, and this is great for building chemistry and tension, but eventually it opens the door to attraction from her side. Women would always prefer a confident man over a shy person. The reason for this is because they can trust that he'll stand his ground and stand up for his family. She doesn't have to take the lead since he already uses his authority to command respect. Number 4, driven to succeed. We've already touched on the fact that women find a man with high potential to be more attractive than someone who's already reached their full potential. The reason for this is that she feels she can assist him on his journey to achieving his goals. This leads us to ambition. You see, women love an ambitious man, and you just need to find something to be ambitious about. If you have a variety of different hobbies, you have a lot of things to be ambitious about, and women love it when a man talks about something he's truly passionate about. This makes her feel like he doesn't consider her as his top priority. Now, you might wonder, why would she choose someone who doesn't make her the top priority? Well, this is also quite simple, and women also love to hunt. Yes, women don't want a man to simply fall in their laps. They also want to work hard for it. In reality, humans often value things much more when they have to work hard for it to happen. You need to find a good hobby and be passionate about it, and if you can monetize this hobby, it'll serve you even better in the future. As long as she feels that she's competing with your goals, she will continue chasing and want to help. Number 5, being a rare commodity. Do you know why people value gold and why it's so expensive that everyone in the world wants something gold? Well, the reason for this is scarcity, and it comes down to how many people own it. You might have some gold jewelry in your home, but it's worth noting that many people in the world don't even own an ounce of gold. In fact, the biggest part of the population doesn't have any gold. In the world of dating, we refer to this as ignored attention. This is when you limit the amount of attention you give a woman to make her wonder about you. Women can be overwhelmed quite easily when you're constantly throwing attention at them. Since she also likes to chase men, you need to ignore her occasionally and focus on your own goals. This allows her to think, and she'll slowly begin to value the little attention you do give her. In the meantime, she'll be chasing you for more. Number 6, pre-selection. One thing you need to understand about society is that everyone wants people to be pre-selected. In fact, you're more likely to be attracted to someone your friends also like due to the fact that they've been pre-selected by them and already approved. This means that the more women you have who like you, the more social proof you have that you're desirable to women. The reason this is so important is because when a man's not pre-selected in any way, women need to take a chance. You need to become the kind of guy that every woman wants, and this will give you more social proof and help with attraction. Number 7, emotional intelligence. One of the main things men have lost is their ability to read emotional situations. You see, men tend to focus on being more and more pragmatic, and this pragmatism is great, but it'll leave your partner emotionally unfulfilled. Emotional intelligence means that you understand when you're not having a great day or when things are not going as planned. Women want someone who can listen to their emotional breakdowns, and this also creates more trust and affection between them. Instead of full-blown masculinity, often showing your emotional side would yield you more benefits with women, and now you're slowly becoming the perfect kind of man. Number 8. The Stoic Man. If you've been an avid follower of this channel, you'll realize that Stoicism is a very powerful thing. You see, women love a man who can stand up in the face of adversity or live his life without being shaken in any way, shape, or form. The Stoic man is the ideal archetype to make this possible, and these men tend to be resolute and reliable. She will love you even more when you're the shoulder she can cry on, but you also manage to give her some practical advice to change or solve the problem. Moreover, women also have many different fits or outbursts driven by emotion. Many of these outbursts could lead to her fighting with you or even just walking away. The problem is that weak men will chase, and they tend to break down, embracing the feminine side of life. The Stoic man just lets it happen and doesn't show his emotions. He endures disappointment without any emotional response, and women see that their emotional games do not work on such a person. Now, this doesn't mean that you should continuously repress your own emotions and feelings. It simply means that you should have a trusted group of male friends with which you can share some of these feelings. This will keep you mentally strong, while also allowing the woman to see that you're a strong-minded person she can trust. Number 9. Charisma. Another truly attractive thing for women is when a man has a little bit of charisma. You see, charisma is dying, and with online communication now taking center stage, you don't have men who can walk up to women and make them laugh or smile anymore. The charismatic person has the ability to make those around him feel good about him and themselves, and this can be very tricky if you consider the fact that we don't get to train this skill with online texting now easily accessible. However, if you can muster up the courage to approach a woman, have a conversation where you can make her laugh, or simply feel challenged, you'll notice just how much more attracted she becomes to you. Being charismatic is very powerful, and it will improve the dating world and your relationships with those around you. However, you need to understand that there's a fine line between being charismatically confident and being arrogant. Many men do not understand these limits, and they can easily end up being arrogant. Number 10. Being a little forward. This final one comes with a warning. We would like to mention just how important it is that you master all the other skills that women love before attempting this one. In fact, when you use this weakness, you have a very high rate of success, given it's done correctly. You see, women love a man who can take the lead, and men must take the lead to ensure that she doesn't have to think about these things. Being a little forward, like making the first move, touching her, or even a few of those jokes that seem to leave her mouth wide open and thinking, "Did he just say that?" will ensure that she keeps seeing you as the type of person who speaks his mind. If you think about this a little deeper, it has a lot to do with charisma and confidence. And the more of these two you have, the better it'll be when attempting to make such a joke or to take the lead in an interaction. On the flip side, you're also bound to be rejected by many women who do not understand this or misinterpret it as being too forward. Women are very complicated on the surface, but when you strip away the veil of emotions, this is something that can logically be figured out. If you want to know more about how to seduce a woman, make sure to check out our video on how to create sexual attraction.